Hey, video fearless and video confidence accelerator fam, Amani Channel. It's been a minute back in the home lab. I feel like I took a little break after the Labor Day holiday. I spent some time in Destin, Florida, but yeah, I've been back to work and I've been going live. I usually during the day I go live at work, but I'm back in the home studio, as you can see. So as many of you may have seen, or maybe you didn't see today, I posted a Q&A post asking folks to post their questions, and had a couple folks go on and ask some questions, so I wanted to get into it. And not only I do respond to folks in the group, but I also wanted to respond with you as well. So I think that Kim Powell asked a question, and so did Roger asked a question. So let me go on the page here so I can make sure I have the questions right. Roderick Felder. So first let's start with Roderick. He asked a very common question about audio and video, because a lot of folks are like, well, it's video, right? It's a camera. You got to make sure the picture looks right. What's more important? Is it the audio or the video? So if I were to mute my microphone right now, would there be any value even in what I'm saying? There wouldn't be. I don't even know. Let me try to do it here. Can I mute it? Oh. And I'll give you another example. When I worked in radio, way back in the day, there was nothing worse than what they called dead air. And dead air was anytime you didn't have anything audibly going over the airwaves. So if you were in between songs, there'd be a little gap of dead air. But it wasn't good to have 30 seconds of dead air, 15 seconds, because people are going to tune out. Well, it's the same thing with video, because you want to not only see the person talking, but you need to hear them. People need to be seen as well as be heard. And I say it's important to be heard as well as be seen. It's even more important to be heard as well as being seen, because the information is really what's important. Like if you were to go to a movie and you see all the action, but you couldn't understand the dialogue, it wouldn't be very entertaining to watch. It'd be very frustrating to watch, as a matter of fact. So always think about your audio as well as the images, but really the audio is the most important thing. People will even put up with bad video if the audio is good. So even if you couldn't see me, if the lighting was bad, but you were interested or engaged in the information, the information is still what would educate you. All right. So just remember that. I say use a microphone. So I use a Rode NT-USB mic. I want to say I had another question too about microphones. Someone asked me about microphones. They were creating some videos in their home environment, and they noticed that their computer onboard mic was picking up a lot of ambient or room noise, background noise. So they were like, what's the solution for it? Well, the solution is a microphone, right? A microphone will solve all those problems for y'all. Show mine here. That's my Rode NT-USB mic. I don't really like it being in the shot, so it's a little bit off camera, but it is picking up my voice. So you want to always use a microphone if you can. Now if you're in a home situation, my room's relatively quiet, and there have been times where I haven't had my microphone configured correctly, and my iMac's microphone was picking up my audio. It sounds okay, but you have to be closer to your computer or to your device. If you didn't have a microphone with your smartphone, you need to make sure you weren't far away. I've seen some people who create a video with their iPhone and it's a distance away from them, and the audio is going to be super hollow because your device has to be close to you so that it can hear you, so that your device can hear you. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so that answers Roderick's question, hopefully. All right, go on to Kim Powell. So she says, what is the best background for a course video? Simple or context? Simple or context? So I guess by simple, you're saying like a blank or white wall, and hopefully I'm getting this the context of this question. So maybe when you ask simple, I'm assuming that you are saying that maybe like a white wall or a blank wall might be what you consider a simple background. When you say context, you mean a background that gives context to what you're speaking about. So I would say that it really doesn't necessarily matter so much as long as the background is pretty clean. It represents your brand. It's not super cluttered. I would say my background, in most situations, my background might not be necessarily ideal, but I like it, right? It's kind of artsy fartsy, and you know, it's kind of creative. It represents my space, it represents me. So I mean, you got to go with what feels right. And again, your information is way more important than your background. So as long as your background isn't like super cluttered, or you know, just looks out of place, or you know, anything like that, super distracting. You don't want to be just overly distracting though, which would be my only concern with my background, is that it's overly distracting. I obviously have a camera here, I have lights here, I have, you know, some other artsy stuff, images and diploma there and picture there. You know, I just have a bunch of, I think Thoth is back there as well as Buddha, right? I have a whole bunch going on here. So hopefully it isn't super distracting. Leave a comment if you think my background is or isn't. I'd like to know your opinion. All right, so those are the questions that I had. I didn't check my Instagram because I did post. Let me check my Instagram real quick and see if anyone posted questions to Instagram, because I've been trying to be everywhere. And it is a challenge, but let me see here. No questions there. Yeah, so those are the questions this week. By the way, I want to say, someone asked me a question about microphones, and the Audio-Technica AT2005 is a microphone that I suggest if you're looking for a USB microphone that's really affordable and works really, really well. I forget who asked me that question though. I have a document that I created with a bunch of basic gear, including the gear that I use. That if you put a 1 in the comments, I'll send it to you. Or I'll message me, and I think I need to email it to you because Facebook is kind of hating on I was sending the link in so many messages, it kind of blocked me. So message me and send me your email, and then I will email it to you so that you have that document. All right, that is about it. Does anyone else have questions for me? If you're watching this and have a question about anything video related or speaking on camera, I see Earl Knighton. What's up, Earl? I see you watching. Anyone else have any questions? I can hang around for a few more minutes, or we can call it a night. I'm going to try to do these more regularly, though. I'm trying to step it up, y'all. I really am, because when I step it up, you step it up, right? I mean, got to lead by example, which is what I'm all about. So I think that tomorrow night is Thursday, and I'm going to do a class on storytelling. I shared the video on me sharing my story, and I got more into my hometown, and it got kind of dove into that stuff, which may or not appeal to everyone, but it was just a version of my story, right? I have several different versions of my story that I can share with you, but it follows the hero's journey, right? So you always want to use the hero's journey as a powerful storytelling technique. So I'm going to put together a class tomorrow night, and we're going to focus on storytelling. So if that sounds interesting to you, please be on the lookout for that tomorrow night. I'll try to do them every Thursday, or I'll let you know when I do them, but I definitely want to get that going as well. And I do have a few slots. I have like 3 spaces open if you're interested in talking to me about like one-on-one coaching. All right. So, my time is up. Devin's doing baseball, and I got work, and I got this, but I do have time. If you like, I like to talk to you first and foremost before you even talk about that. So let's set up a time to talk, but I do have 3 spaces available. So if you're interested in getting some one-on-one coaching or some mentoring from me, I'd love to talk to you about that as well. And I think that's about it, folks. So hopefully you have a great night. Amani Channel. We'll talk to you soon. We do it like this.